Hello there, and welcome to the Disney Travel Secrets Podcast. If you're new to the show, we are your host and travel agents, Rob and Kerri Stuart, and we're coming to you from the Creating Magic Vacation Studio right next to Disney in beautiful Windermere, Florida. You're listening to episode number 409, original air date December 16th, 2024.
And as we approach the end of the year, there's a lot to look forward to in 2025. There are so many projects that are going to be going on, so if you want to plan a trip or you have a trip on the books, then you need to pay attention.
It just seems like there are more things coming to the parks than ever before. Of course, that could be just a feeling. I don't know.
But either way, there are some really fun things for you to do and experience.
Well, here is something kind of crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a Disney movie that is so controversial, and it's not even out yet.
Yeah, I didn't really know anything about that. So can you name that movie? Stay tuned to learn more.
Welcome to Disney Travel Secrets with your host, Rob and Kerri Stuart, the founders of Creating Magic Vacations and authorized Disney Vacation Planner. They are still a very popular Disney podcast, and not just with their friends and family. Every Monday for over 5 years, they've been bringing you the best and most up-to-date information about all things Disney, the parks, the cruises, and also the luxury of Adventures by Disney. Make sure to follow them on Instagram, where they share content that's mentioned on this very show. Now, here comes the rope drop.
Since we started doing both of our podcasts on video as well as audio, so both this one and Travel Inspired, we've had to plan our shows further out than when we did them when they were just audio only.
Yeah, so we are recording this show right before we leave for our trip to Disneyland, and that one starts on December 10th. Because if we waited until we got back on Friday night, the show would not be done by Monday air date. We know a lot of you have this in your schedule.
Our video editor is fast, but he's not that fast. So these Monday dates is something we have not missed, not even one time since we launched this show in March of 2017, which just seems surreal at this point.
Yeah, so we have been doing the show, do you realize, for over a third of the time that you and I have known each other, which is absolutely crazy.
And the strange thing is, when we started, we really didn't have a plan. Well, until 2018 when we started the agency, and that's when we knew we had to stay consistent.
Well, we were consistent before that, and
Probably
I disagree. We did have a plan, but I know that we really want to thank you who are listening or watching right now, because whether you are brand new to the show or have been with us for few years or from the beginning, we appreciate you.
We are very thankful. And something that has really helped us in doing the research for both shows, but also for the books we're working on, and that really is AI, which is a huge topic these days.
So we started using AI this last year, but in the right way. We've been doing some training, and we see people that use it, and it sounds so obvious. It's also something, though, that we do train our agents on in ways that it can enhance their business, and we make sure that they use it to gather information, not to do all the creative for things like social media and email blasts. It's just not the same.
I agree. Now, that is something that interests you. Here are the two platforms we use on a daily basis. One is we use Perplexity instead of Google, and Claude.ai instead of ChatGPT.
So Perplexity is an answer engine, not just a search engine like Google. It answers your questions, but what I love is it suggests follow-up questions based on the results, and it's actually pretty good.
Claude is in some ways similar to ChatGPT, which I think is how most people get started with AI. The reason we use Claude is a partnership our agency has with an AI genius, yes, a real person, and he does training for AI specifically, and it's just for travel agents.
Yeah, so he is a technologist, and it is fascinating.
Yes, he is definitely on the forefront of this technology. Okay, so now let's talk about the movie we mentioned in the open. If you guessed Snow White, you are correct.
Yeah, so the budget for this show, Snow White, is reported to be over $330 million, making it Disney's most expensive standalone film ever, which is crazy.
I think one of the biggest mistakes is trying to remake the movie that effectively launched the entire Disney company. If the 1937 Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs had failed, you would not be listening to us or watching us right now, because there would be no Disney.
Yeah, that is so true. Most likely been remembered as a failed movie maker if that one didn't make it, because I don't even know if he would have been remembered at all.
I know. So Walt Disney Productions became a public company in 1940 based on the success of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Without it, they may not have gone public at all. And that was really the capital they used, among other things, to create Disneyland.
Okay, enough on financials. Let's talk about why it has so much backlash, and it being this new live action remake. First of all is the casting. Rachel Zegler is cast as Snow White. She has publicly stated that her version of Snow White will not conform to the damsel in distress persona. Instead, she emphasized a narrative where Snow White seeks leadership rather than romantic love.
What? Her vision? That should be the end of that right then, but it wasn't. But also the use of CGI to create, and I quote, magical creatures, unquote, instead of calling them dwarfs. Because, it's in the original 1997 movie title.
So are they changing the title?
They are not.
It's not Snow White and the Seven Magical Creatures?
See, now they're going to have to do that because people are going to listen to this and go,
I don't know. Super weird.
I also think that Ziegler's comments and her overall stance has really taken the focus off of the film and put it on her, which I don't think is good for any movie or any company. It's got to be about the movie.
Yeah, and here's the kicker. The movie doesn't even come out until March of 2025. And with all of these comments coming up, it may just be a flop, which would be really sad for Walt's legacy because this is what really started off the movie career. So sad.
I know. So we're still about 4 months out and people are going nuts. So yeah, I kind of agree. I hope it does well, from the company standpoint. So
now let's move on to some things that are more fun. Some very exciting things are happening at the parks on both coasts in 2025.
Let's kick it off with the big one, and that is Disneyland's 70th anniversary celebration. Now that does start May 16th of 2025, and it's featuring the return of the Paint the Night Parade and the debut of the new World of Color Happiness Show over at DCA. And just to clear things up, Disneyland California, DCA, because we're going to say that a lot, so we just like to keep it short. And yet another reason we're looking forward to our trip in September when both those shows are up.
Yeah, so they will also have some festive projections on the Carthay Circle restaurant over at Disney California Adventure, and it's a small world. And so I'm super excited. It's going to be very cool to see those projections.
Up next, Walt Disney A Magical Life Audio-Animatronic show, and this debuts on the same date as the 70th anniversary, and that is May 16th, 2025, and that is in the Main Street Opera House. Now this, again, it coincides with the start of the park's 70th anniversary celebration.
Yeah, so this is going to feature the first ever audio-animatronic figure of Walt Disney himself, which is a crazy milestone in Disney storytelling technology. They've never done that before.
I know, it's the first time they're going to have a Walt audio-animatronic. It's also how the parks continue to evolve, and this kind of reminds me of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, because that was the first ever to feature Mickey and Minnie, and that ride is over at Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, so no spoilers here though, but we are looking forward to seeing this in person on our Private Adventures by Disney trip next September. And as a reminder, we do have some spaces available. So if you're getting interested in some of this stuff, go to creatingmagicvacations.com, click on the plan a vacation, and just put ABD in the form. I'll also have a link in the show description as well.
And also with that private group trip, again, just the Creating Magic Vacations group. So we're going to Walt's office. I think that would be really cool if they brought the Walt Audio-Animatronic into the office.
They're not going to do that.
No. Okay, fine.
Okay, another thing that is really cool that's going on next year is what's called the Season of Force that is coming back to Disneyland Park. So this is a return, but a lot of people missed it. So from March 28th through May 11th, it is the Fire of the Rising Moon's nightly show that is over in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. Again, this is only over at Disneyland.
And it's also on select dates. They're going to have Star Wars nights. There are 5 dates in April and 3 in May, and they'll feature after-hours events with unique entertainment and experiences for guests. You might even meet a few characters that you have not seen before.
So also the Fire of the Rising Moons, which is a unique nighttime fireworks experience that is also in Galaxy's Edge. This one has music from the Star Wars film, and there's a narrative by a character known as Lore Reaver. So Star Wars fans, there are couple of great things for you to get excited about.
So all in all, there's going to be some really cool things going on at the 70th celebration of Disneyland. A lot of things we probably don't even know about. Lots of food and entertainment and shows and all these things that you're probably going to have to go there to make sure you know all about them.
Yeah. Now, those all sound fun, but now it's time to head home to our backyard, Walt Disney World, starting with what I'm personally super excited to see.
Yes.
And that is the Disney Starlight Dream the Night Away. And this is a brand new nighttime light up parade at Magic Kingdom, which is going to start in the summer. And we had the opportunity to see some sneak previews of some of the artwork of the different floats and characters that are going to be in this parade. It is going to be spectacular. And so as soon as they have the dates on there, first of all, if you already have a trip for the summer and beyond, you can plan on doing this. And, you know, some of us may need to eke in a trip a little bit earlier. So we'll kind of keep an eye out on that. But this is going to be an amazing nighttime parade. There has not been one at Magic Kingdom for quite some time.
And that's really what all the excitement is about, is there hasn't been a nighttime parade over at Magic Kingdom for a long time. So I think we're all looking forward to that. We're also looking forward to seeing the work begin on new lands, including Cars Land over at Magic Kingdom, Monsters Inc. Land in Hollywood Studio, and Villains Land also in Magic Kingdom.
I'm looking forward to are the things that we can do and see in 2025. I don't care about construction. So starting with the brand new Villains show, this is going to be over at Hollywood Studios, and it is replacing Lightning McQueen Racing Academy.
Which was also very, very cool. I think also being tucked in by Rock and Roller Coaster. Also at times when Rock and Roller Coaster was down a lot, they weren't getting the traffic back there. I think this is going to be a great addition. But also the reimagined stage for the Little Mermaid musical adventure, also at Hollywood Studios.
And then you also have the Tropical Americas Land, and this was supposed to start construction in the fall of 2024. This is over at Animal Kingdom, and it's going to be featuring Indiana Jones and Encanto attractions. So again, that's construction stuff. So
yes.
Nothing to look forward to there.
Construction stuff can be cool, but it also means it is the last call for Dinosaur Land over at Disney's Animal Kingdom. That's set to begin its phased closure starting January 12th of 2025, so just about a month away. The first phase is going to see the permanent closure of several attractions and areas within Dinoland, including Triceratops Spin, Fossil Fun Games, and Chester and Hester's Dinosaur Treasures.
Yeah, so those attractions are going to close permanently on January 13th of 2025. However, the big one, and this is the one that there's lots of controversy around, and that is Dinosaur, because they recently made an announcement that they're not going to be closing that one for quite some time.
So as we mentioned, this is the initial phase of what they're going to be doing over there at AK. So Dinosaur, along with the Boneyard and Restaurantosaurus, will remain open for now. However, Dinosaur is expected to close later in 2025. So good news for Dino fans, you do have some time to get over there.
Yeah, we are very excited though about two new lounges that are coming to two different Walt Disney World parks. This is going to be incredible.
Now the first one is Spaceship Earth Lounge at Epcot, and this is going to open, they're saying, late spring of 2025. I really have no idea how Disney defines seasons.
No, you know what? They just give them they just give themselves multiple months.
They do. As opposed to back in the day, okay, Epcot's going to open October 1st, 1982, and it did. So this is a place that we've been before, but how? It's not open yet. So this is the space they reserve for private events if the weather is too bad for the Epcot nighttime show. So either rain or maybe cold weather like it was for us for Agent Palooza in January just a few years ago.
Yeah, because we had some private dessert parties. Normally those are around the lake, but in the event that they need to bring you inside, this was one of the places that they would give us as an option, depending upon the number of people we had. But we are really glad that it is going to open as a lounge everybody can enjoy, because it has great views at night. And it's going to be a good place to not only enjoy the show, but also to visit during the day, because you will be able to see World Celebration Gardens. And I'm kind of curious, though, if they're still going to allow us to use that for private events.
I know, because it was also used as a standalone wedding venue, so we will have to see.
Yeah.
Now, the other lounge is coming to Magic Kingdom, and not with a little bit of controversy.
No.
Maybe just pushback, you decide. And that is Pirates of the Caribbean Tavern in Magic Kingdom.
And you can understand why people are a little, not so sure about this. But of course, it's going to be pirate themed, and they are going to offer food and some drinks, some with alcohol, when it opens sometime, hopefully in 2025. And what kind of beverages they're going to have, we don't know yet, but I think it's going to operate very similar to how Oga's Cantina does at Disneyland, because Disneyland is a dry park as well, and you can get alcoholic beverages in Oga's Cantina. You just can't take them out.
Exactly. One thing I'm pretty sure is you won't be able to leave the tavern and just walk around again like similar restaurants that she just mentioned. And I say that actually makes sense, especially for Magic Kingdom. It makes sense. Wait, I saw somebody walking by Cinderella Castle with a beer. Oh no.
No, that's not it. It's the people that already are stressed out trying to get their kids out of the park. We do not need alcohol infusion at the hub at fireworks. We talked about that last week.
That is one of the places. I agree.
Yeah. So another update worth mentioning, and that is the reimagining of Test Track over at Epcot.
So the original sponsor of the Test Track attraction at Epcot was General Motors. So when Test Track first opened, it was March 17th, 1999. But in 2012, it changed to the Chevrolet division of GM. So basically still in the family, and it kind of did that. I know this because GM was going through a little bankruptcy, so they said, okay, let's just make it Chevrolet.
But before that, it was World of Motion when it first debuted on October 1st in 1982 on that opening day of Epcot Center. Even in its original form, it was still presented by General Motors back then.
So we're totally looking forward to seeing the updated version, which there's been a lot of talk about that. So I think that'll be cool to see.
Yeah, there really is, though, so much to look forward to in 2025 and beyond at both the parks on both the coasts, because they're going to continue to evolve as they always have done.
As we mentioned, you really don't need a reason to visit in 2025 to either Disneyland or Walt Disney World Resort, but there are some good reasons.
Yeah, and as we always say, there is something new to discover and experience with every Disney vacation.
So if we can help you get your 2025 Disney trip on the books to either coast, please reach out to us or one of our Creating Magic Vacations travel advisors. To work with us, just go to creatingmagicvacations.com and click on Plan a Vacation.
So thanks again for listening or hopefully watching us on YouTube. And don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a show.
Yes, thank you again. And until next time, have a magical day.
We hope to see you real soon.